What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Country Bunkers Trains. Hope you're doing good. Got a quick little layout update today. Really more so a train room update than a layout, but they do go hand in hand. We had a little mishap or misfortune happen last week that's kind of snowballed into quite the project. But I do believe it's forcing us into a forced upgrade, which I do believe is going to be a good thing. I'm in the midst of doing this little project. I figured I'd bring you guys along for the ride. We'll see how it turns out. Last week, one of the two lights here in the train room decided to burn out or give out. And it just so happens to be the light that's above the new layout that we're working on. The crappy thing is I wasn't even in here running trains when it happened. We were getting the fireplace up and running and burning for its first burn of the season. And we were just using these as standard household lights as intended. And of course, while going through that, obviously it burned out. Figured no big deal, we'll get a new light bulb in and we're good to go, right? No, that is not the case. At least it doesn't seem to be for me. I noticed while trying to get the plate or the cover off, it wouldn't come off. I had to take the whole assembly down off of the wall or the ceiling. And it happens to be one of those fancy Fandangle one-time use LED units. It's an all-in-one built-in unit. As you can see, there's really no light or bulb to replace. I thought maybe I could replace the board and everything, but of course, guess what I can't find? Yeah, it's screwed on here, but the wires are all soldered on and whatnot. And of course, I also cannot find a whole other unit just like this. I'm not sure of the name. I can't find a name on it. It seems like a generic, maybe Amazon or big box store online purchase. Obviously, we didn't buy these. These came with the house. So yeah, I couldn't find one, so that was kind of a pain. To make matters worse, once I got the fixture down off of the ceiling, I noticed we had a leak developing in the roof of the house. Not a good thing, especially here in the train room with all of these electronics. I noticed a little puddle had collected in the base, or the top of this light fixture. You can see little remnants of it. And the insulation in the ceiling was a bit damp and a little bit soaked in some spots. So I absolutely had to get that addressed. But this led into some more fun stuff to do. We have a metal roof here on the house, which I love. But we also, I'm sure as you guys have seen or can see in the videos, we got a bunch of trees in the yard. The metal roof is easily stained by all the leaves and debris that come off of these trees. As you can see, our roof angle isn't that steep. It's fairly flat. And all the leaves and debris collect up there, and it makes the roof completely nasty. So I had to spend this last week up on the roof pressure washing the roof. I'm not done yet, but I did get the area right above the train room cleaned off so I could find where the leak's coming from. Seem to be coming from around the fireplace. These areas over here. A couple edges around the fireplace where they meet up and whatnot. We do seem to have it fixed. It's sealed up. It's been raining today. We don't have any leaks. I don't notice any dampness here in the train room, so I think we're good to go. With the roof situation hopefully dealt with, it was time to focus once again back on the lighting. As I say, I couldn't find an exact replacement fixture like this one, nor could I find the board or light setup that really goes into it. As I say, this seems to be kind of a no-name setup. I don't know if it came from online or what. This came with the house when we bought it 4 years ago. Now, of course, I could have purchased another fixture from the store and just installed that and gone that route. However, I didn't think I would enjoy it. I couldn't find a fixture that looked like the other one that's installed over there, and I thought it would look a little unsightly. Of course, what we're installing isn't going to match, but I hope it won't stick out as bad or look as unsightly. I noticed with a lot of professional or high-end layouts, they use track lighting for lighting their setups, and it does seem to give a really impressive look from what I've seen. And I'm thinking that was the route that I wanted to go with. Like I say, I really like the way it looks. So we went to Home Depot last night and I took the plunge. That's what we're going to be installing. We're going to be installing a new track lighting system for the new layout. I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to come out pretty good. At least I hope. Fingers crossed. I guess we're going to find out together. But yeah, I picked up some track. I got 3 sections, 8 foot long of track. I'm going to have to cut and custom trim these to size to fit on different areas where they're going to be installed. We'll see how that comes out. Did pick up 4 heads. I'm going to have to pick up some more. This is all they had in stock. These were the cheaper heads. However, the nice thing about these take standard 1004 or R20 bulbs. So when a bulb goes out in these, we're not having to replace a whole head. We just have to replace the bulb itself. Like I say, they didn't have any more heads in stock, so I'm going to have to pick up a couple more. Only got the 4 of them. And along to go with that for the track, we've got these 90-degree angles to turn around the room where we're going to need it. Also picked up a T. This is to branch off of the main power feed and shoot over to the other side of the layout. And I'm thinking and hoping, depending on how much I like how this turns out, we might possibly light the other layout or the first layout with the track lighting as well. Like I say, we're just going to have to see how this turns out. For the light bulbs themselves, we did go LED. From what I was researching and looking around online, it seemed like 3,000 lumens was the magic number. That was the most appealing sunlight-looking lighting out there. When converting it online, that looked to be a 50-watt bulb. However, I picked up these 75-watt bulbs. I'm assuming this will be more around the 5,000 lumen mark. However, to combat that, just in case, I got a dimmer switch. And these are dimmable bulbs, so we can play with the amount of light that'll be going on the layout. The hope and the thought is, for the layout when it's up and running, I can turn it down to that 3,000 lumen mark. However, when I'm in here working on the layout or doing maintenance on the engines, I can crank it up to the 5,000 lumen mark, and that way I got more light so I can see what's going on. But I guess we're going to have to find out together. The track itself, for being hung, it does come with anchors, which I might have to use, but just in case, I picked up the cheap drywall screws. These are only rated for 22 pounds capacity. Obviously, this track doesn't weigh that much. But I'm hoping that I can get away with using these. That way I don't have to drill big half-inch, three-quarter-inch holes in the ceiling. I could just drill these little quarter-inch holes to hang these. But again, we'll have to see how that goes once we get started. Please excuse the mess. The train room is a complete disaster at the moment. Working on the layout has made it a mess all by itself, but now that we're in here doing home renovations, it's just a cluster. But one of the pieces you do got to pick up is the track power feed. This is what feeds the track power itself, as well as covers the nice hole that we have in the ceiling. I'm not sure how well this is going to hide that hole. The people who installed this lighting, not exactly the most professional. It looks like it's going to cover it, but hey, we're in here to stare at the trains, not the ceiling and the finish work, right? But yeah, I'm working on that currently. I've got the base installed into the old fixture spot. Again, this was I had to do some MacGyver work here. There wasn't a junction box installed behind the drywall. They just had some funky bracket with a hanging bracket, I guess is the best way you could describe it. I had to MacGyver some of the old pieces from the fixture onto the new power feed plate, and that's how I got it secured up there. I'm not sure how it's going to work. It only has to hold the weight of the plate. Once we get the track over that plate, the track system will hold everything up, so I'm not completely worried about it. I've still got to get the wires connected, which I'm about to do here next. Once I get those wires done, that's when we're going to start working on the track. What I'm thinking is having the track shoot out over here, come over to the T right here, and then I'm going to have this T branch off and shoot towards the front of the layout, but have it continue and then go over here to towards this wall to light this area of the layout. I do not have enough 90-degree turns to do that, so I'm not going to focus on that right now. What I am going to focus on, we're going to get the track coming this way with the T installed, install the remainder of track towards the wall over here, and then have the tracks shooting out this way, going towards the other layout. As I say, I only got 4 heads right now, and not enough 90 degrees to fulfill the job at the moment. But we should be able to get some light in here once again. It's kind of miserable in here with no lighting, as you can see. I'm not sure how much footage or what all I'm going to show in this video. Again, I'm not an electrician. I've dabbled with it at a previous job, so I'm comfortable with it. But I don't want to be the one to show people what to do. Proceed at your own caution. And again, it's a little bit of work doing filming while trying to do the work itself. I'll try and get little snippets here and there throughout different stopping points, but we'll see how this turns out together. Alrighty guys, we got the first piece of track cut and installed. Got the wires hooked up and got those installed as well as the power feed hooked up to the track. For cutting this track, I'm just using a grinder and a cutoff wheel, and it seems to be doing a really good job, goes right through it. All my Sawzall blades are pretty much roached, so we're going to have to stick with the grinder. I was able to use the cheaper drywall anchors. They're actually working really well. Like I say, this track isn't that heavy, and we're only going to have a couple lights every few feet, if that. So I think these are going to work just fine, rather than using the big anchors that come with the track. But as you can see, like I say, this ended up being 40 inches in length. It's coming to our T right here, which is going to feed over to the layout, and then it'll feed over to another L here in the future. What do you guys say we try it out? Let's see if it works. Alrighty guys, moment of truth. Let's see if she works. Obviously this light isn't staying here. I just threw it in for testing purposes before we go any further. But let's try it out. Oh, check that out. Hell yeah. That's going to look pretty nice. I'm very happy it worked the first go-around. It's kind of hard to capture on video with it being daylight outside. But here's a quick idea of what it's going to look like once aimed at the layout. I think this is going to look pretty sick. Obviously, as I say, there's not going to be a light right there. They'll be a little bit further back. But yeah, I really like the way that this is going to look, I think. Of course, right now, we're running off of a straight switch. I do not have the dimmer installed. So once we get that dimmer in, we can play with the brightness and whatnot. But yeah, I think this looks really, really good. With that track section now up, I can go ahead and install the power feed cover to try and cover that hole. I don't think I'm going to get that lucky. I think I'm going to be able to still see edges of the hole, being that hole is just so big. I might pick up some white caulk in the future and cover it up, but we'll see what it looks like once we get that cover on. What do you say we go ahead and move on to installing the rest of the track? I'll continue working my way straight, then I'll probably get the big section up next. Let's see how that comes out. Alrighty guys, as you can see, we're making some good progress. I think it's coming out pretty good. These things throw off a good bit of light. Looking pretty good. We did get the cover installed for the feeder section, and it didn't come out as bad as I thought it was going to. I still might come back with a little bit of caulk, but it hit it pretty well. As you can see, you can just start to see the corner and where they cut out a little bit too much. But again, it's not like we're really looking up here at the ceiling anyway. Did get the second or third pieces of track installed. We got one over here. Like I was saying earlier, I was thinking of doing an L and continuing on to the wall down there, but I don't think it's going to be needed. I might just leave it just like that. Then we've got the long stretch installed and behind the fireplace in front of the shelving. This is a full stick at 8 feet long. Obviously, I got to pick up a couple more lights. But yeah, looking pretty good. We'll have to check this out in the nighttime, of course. I did want to mention, they do offer this track system in both white and black. Obviously, having a white ceiling, I went with white to blend in. But like I said, they do offer black as well. With these connectors and whatnot, they come standard with white, but they come with the black covers if you'd like to install them. Just depending on whatever color you want to go with. I also want to make mention with this track, it's very important you pay attention to it. You'll notice on one side there's 2 prongs, and on one side there's just one. These will fit either way. However, if installed wrong, you're going to get no power. I did a lot of research on these before obviously doing this install, and I am finding out myself. I've done a couple where I put them in backwards, tried powering them up and went, what the hell? So yeah, just something to really keep in mind and pay attention to if you do decide to go this route. And once again, in case you're looking to replicate something similar to this, here's a look at the bulbs I am using once more. As I say, these are the EcoSmart bulbs I got from Home Depot. These are 75 watt LED R20 bulbs. Here's a look at the bulb itself. As you can see, it's a focused bulb. It's focused in one direction. Of course, we're installing track lighting. I didn't see a need to get the normal incandescent bulbs. But these do look nice. These put out a nice bright white light. Obviously, again, we're still on the standard light switch. I don't have the dimmer installed yet. But I think these will work good at full power for having to do work in here, maintenance on the engines, and working on the layout and whatnot. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. The track and cans are done. Check that out. I like it. What a difference. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Wasn't that hard to install, took a couple hours. Is a little bit of an arm workout, working above your head. But yeah, I think it came out pretty good. I can already tell, even though it's still daylight, a big drastic difference in the way the layout looks. With the light coming in from an angle on the side, all the cars really pop. That daylight over there is really singing in the new light. Thing looks great. Our last item to tackle is getting the dimmer installed, which is pretty easy and straightforward, and is going to work out really nice for this particular install. Both of the original lights in here had their own separate circuit. The light up here is controlled by a switch that's found in our bedroom, and the old light, which is now the circuit for the new track lighting, is controlled by this switch right here, right outside our bedroom door. Obviously, that's where the dimmer is going to be installed. This will be dimming and powering all of the track lighting. We're going to keep our fingers crossed, hope and pray that this other light doesn't burn out for quite a while. I'm not holding my breath, but if it does, I'm kind of SOL. That's going to be a real pain to change if it does. But like I say, I might continue growing on off of the track lighting. I've stopped it right here. But I might come back in the future and add some more going across, maybe even going back. So we got track lighting shooting on this layout as well. We won't probably have to ever use that light again. Of course, I'm going to leave it there. It's not going anywhere. But let's go ahead and get that dimmer installed. Alrighty, y'all, we're done. Dimmer's installed and working good. I like it. It's kind of hard to get a good judgment of what's going to be a good light. I think until we get some scenery and landscaping on the layout, that's when we'll get a good feel for it. But hey, at least we got the option now, right? These are some pretty bright lights. And I do really like the light that they give off, the color of it. Much, much better than what was originally here. See how much brighter and the different hues it puts off. But yeah, pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and clean up. We'll come back later once it finally gets dark out, and we'll go ahead and check it out. I tell you guys, what a difference. I don't know if the camera does it any justice. It feels like a different room. It literally feels like it's daytime in here. I love it. I think it came out pretty damn good. On top of being a great upgrade, I can't tell you guys how happy I am to have light back in here once again. The last week and a half or so has been pretty miserable. I usually do my train running at night, after a long day of work and whatnot, come in here to unwind. And like I say, it was pretty miserable in here. I like doing nighttime runs, but that's when the layout has some lighted accessories and whatnot on the layout itself. Obviously, this one does not, so these were running in pitch black. And like I say, it just wasn't that fun, kind of miserable. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. I do hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. Until next time, guys, my name is Zach, and this is Country Bunkers Trains. Y'all take care. I'll see you the next go-around.